Hello everyone, and welcome to another one of Mr. Crow's Java Eclipse lessons. Today we're going to be learning how to decipher if a number is a palindrome, what a palindrome is, create a rock, paper, scissors game, which I'm really excited about, as well as we will be using the and or operators, and also doing a pick a card game where you'll randomly pick a card out of the deck and our program will be able to tell you what card you got. Okay, so first we're going to do the palindrome, which is 312. So if you have this PDF already downloaded, you can also look it up and download this as well. Alright, write a program that prompts the user to enter a 3-digit integer and determines whether it is a palindrome. A number is a palindrome if it reads the same from right to left and from left to right. So 121 is a palindrome. So if you flipped it or read it the other way, it would still be 121. Okay, I have my exercise 312 class up and created. Import java.util.scanner because I'm going to be importing information. So I need to do scanner input is what I'm going to call my scanner, new scanner system.in. Okay, set that up to be able to set up your scanner. You're going to prompt the user out.println, enter a 3-digit number, and I will tell you if it is a palindrome. Sorry. Palindrome. Alright. Palindromes. Oh, some good words that are palindromes. Level. Race car, my personal favorite. But yeah, 5, 9, 4, 8, 4, 5. Whoops. 5, 9. 9, 5, 4. 4, 5, 9. 8 in the middle. Yeah, palindrome. Okay. So, we're going to need to create int number equals input dot next int, and then we need to check if number so what we really need to do, since we know it's a 3-digit, we can just do it as simple as we possibly can. Now, if you get further along into palindromes, you're going to need to know, you're going to need to do more on the modulo side. But right now, you can do, to find the first number, we need to find the first number. So if we have a 3-digit palindrome, we know 474 will be a palindrome. Okay, the 4 and the 4 just need to match up. The middle number obviously won't change. So we need to find the first number. So if you divide this number by 100, you get 400. You get 4.74, and you truncate that 0.74, so you just get 4 by itself. Okay, so now we have the 4 by itself. Let's try to get how do we get the last number by itself? Well, you can divide number by 100 and find the remainder. Divide number by 10 and find the remainder. So by doing modulo 10, it goes to 47.4, and you know that extra 4 is your remainder because it's 47 and 4/10, so 4 would be your remainder. So when you do that, you find the 4 by itself, and then very simply, so it's a little bit simpler. Then you can make it a little bit more complicated, and we need to test to make sure that this works, but I think it does. The number entered is a palindrome. Let's say the number entered Let's do number plus is a palindrome. Okay, else system.out.print line not a palindrome. Okay, so let's test this. The best way to do it is to test it. Enter 3-digit number. All right, 959. 959 is a palindrome. 988. Not a palindrome. Excellent. So now, let's see. Not a palindrome. The problem with this is if you just have, actually, no, that would work. Okay, because even if you have something like that, not a palindrome, if you divide by 100, let's see, divide this number by 100, that would be your number, so that's obviously not going to equal the other side. Would 9599959, so this would be a palindrome technically, but it's not a 3-digit palindrome. That's what we, not a palindrome or not 3-digit palindrome. So to do that further, you would need to modulo 10, divide by 10. Eventually we would need to create a loop in order to do that, and so that would take a little bit of more programming and a little bit more advanced programming. But that is how you answer number 12. We can keep going forward now. We're going to do new class, chapter 3. What problem? Problem 17. Chapter 3, 17. Public static void main. Import java.util.scanner. You can copy and paste from the old one, but I don't know if it's much different in time, and I like practicing using this. Okay, yeah, even me still practicing. Let's go and check out what problem we got here. So 17. Scissor. I always call it rock, paper, scissors, but scissor, rock, paper. Write a program that plays popular scissor, rock, paper game. Scissor can cut paper, rock can knock a scissor, and paper can wrap a rock. So basically one can beat the other. The program randomly generates 0, 1, or 2, representing scissor, rock, paper. The program prompts the user to enter 0, 1, or 2 and displays a message indicating whether the user or the computer wins, loses, draws. Okay. Let's do system.out prompt the user. First thing, always enter 0 for scissors, 1 for rock, 2 for paper. Okay. And then int number equals, let's do users number equals input.next int and then if you remember int comp number equals we're gonna do math.random times 3, and then we're gonna cast that to an integer. So math.random gets a random number between 0 and 1, a decimal. And so the highest number it could get is 0.99999, and you times that by 3, it still equals 2.998 something something something. And then you truncate the 0.998, and it because you're casting it to an int, so it just becomes a solid 2. So you're really, anytime you're timesing by whatever with a math.random, you're really getting a random number between 0 and whatever you're and 1 less than whatever you're multiplying by. So 0 to 2. So 0, 1, and 2. I like to think of it, well, there's 3 number choices when you multiply by that number. Okay, if you wanted to change it, you could always put this in parentheses and plus 1 to it, and then it would be a number between 1 and 3. And so it would be 1, 2, and 3. Still 3 numbers to choose from, but you just start at 1 instead of starting at 0. But we are going to start at 0, and we're going to say if user number equals 2. Let's start off with 0. 0 is scissors, and 1 is rock. So if user number equals, let's start off with this, equals comp number, what's going to happen? Well, system.out.println, it is a draw. Okay. If user number equals 0 and comp number equals 2, system.out.println, you win. Okay, and so let's put this in parentheses, and let's do another operator, or at least see if we can. I'm pretty sure you can. Or how else can we win? If users number equals 1 and comp number equals 0, we win, right? Or what's the third and final way we can win? Or remember, so how you do these ors, you do shift and then between backspace and enter, there's this colon that it looks like a colon, but there's lines, and you just hold shift down, and it's a / I believe. Anyways, you hold shift down and you push that in between enter and backspace, and you should be able to get that. Anyways, the last way you can win is users number equals 2 and comp number equals 1. Paper covers rock. Okay. Now, if I could copy and paste this whole thing, is how I'm going to do it. I think that's the fastest way for me. Copy and paste. And do I have the right amount of parentheses? I think so. But, oh, nope, too many over here. Okay, I think. But I'm going to change user to comp. Comp, users to comp, comp to users to comp, comp to users. So the computer's answers are just the opposite of what we want. System.out.println You lose. Else, we should do else if. Else if. Else. System. Not out. No. Not print. Print. Line. Invalid input. All right. There we go. Okay. Everybody got that? Let's see if I can get it all on one screen. There we go. Okay, so we try it. I probably should have tested it earlier to make sure everything was lined up correctly, but user's number. So how would I win? A 0, and hopefully the comp got a 2. It looks like they did. Okay, let's see. 0 again. Oh, I won again. 0 again. Uh-oh, is something wrong? I've won every time. I win. I win every time. I'm too good at this. Okay, let's try this one more time. 2, it's a draw. Maybe I got lucky. I won. I feel like I'm winning way too often. You lose. Okay, how do I check to see if this is working correctly? Well, this will not check. This will not change the outcome. So just print, not a quote. We're going to print comp number, and so we know. Actually, what we should do is print comp number before. We'll just print comp number there, so it'll tell us. So we can check 0, 0 to draw, so that's correct. 0, 2, 0, 2, I win. Excellent. 0, 2, I win again. Lucky me. 0, 0, it's a draw. Can it ever get 1? Oh my goodness. 1, I lose. Okay, so it seems like it's working. Let's see the invalid input. Invalid input. Excellent. Okay, so then we got the rock, paper, scissors game down. All right. Excellent. You can have fun with that and really create some simple games like that and have a lot of fun with it. So let's go ahead and go to pick a card game. So that's going to be 324. 23, 24. So very simply, write a program that simulates picking a card from a deck. Your program should display the rank and clubs, diamond, hearts, spades of the card. Okay, so we're going to need to basically convert these numbers. We're going to do a random number between 1 and 13. And then also randomize the suits. Okay, so you need to use some random numbers here. So we're going to do a new class. Here we go, new class. Let's make sure it's chapter 3, new class. I don't want a new interface. New class. Here we go. Now we're in chapter 3. 24, did I say? Yeah, public static void main. Check that off. Lowercase import. Java, I didn't need this last time. Oh yeah, I did. .util.scanner. Where the user can. Whoa, what is wrong? It's never used. Well, wait, give me a chance here. Eclipse, give me a chance. Equals new scanner. System.out, system.in. Okay, we're not asking for output, we're asking for input. That's why it's not system.out, it's system.in, right? Okay, so we're getting a random number. So we're gonna need to do int card number equals. Oh, this is we're probably not going to use a scanner actually. We're going to do card number equals int. We're gonna eventually have to cast it. You oftentimes have to cast your random numbers if you want them to be an integer. Math, well, you always have to if you want them to be an integer, but oftentimes we do want them to be an integer. Math times 13, and like I said with the previous one, since we want an ace to be 1, we're going to have to add 1 to this number, whatever it is. So math.random times 13 plus 1 gives you a random number between 1 and 13. Okay. And then int suit equals int math.random times 4. We don't need to do plus 1 because we can have 0 equal one of the, and I did not do math.random quite correctly. It needs a placeholder. So these parameters, empty parameters, it's essentially it needs to have a spot to place the random number that it's generating. That's the way I like to think of it. Okay. If card number equals 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. Now I was just testing that out. Okay. What if I did semicolon? I know that there's a way you can do this much faster than how I'm about to do it. That's why I wanted to do it that way, but that's all right. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it the long way, the way only you guys know how to do it. So number equals 3. Get rid of all this. Okay. So now we have the pipes card number. I'm going to copy, paste, space, paste. Now the reason I'm doing this is because in this situation, if it's 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or 9, not anything else, or 9, we are just simply going to print, and I haven't told you guys yet, but you can actually, if you're only doing one line in an if statement, you actually don't need the parentheses. That is also true with Greenfoot, if you went along with my Greenfoot videos. Print, not quotes, you're just going to print whatever the value of card number is. So whatever that value is up there, you're just going to print it. Okay? Else if card number equals 1, we're going to have to do print something different. Ace. And we're going to do another else if, and another else if, and another else if. If card number equals 10, Jack, 11, Queen, 12, King. Okay. Alright, then if suit equals 0, we're going to print clubs else if suit equals 1. Spades, copy, paste, 2, 3. Doesn't really matter what order because we are going to randomly generate all of these clubs. And then we're going to run it. And 8 of hearts. Maybe I shouldn't do print line statements, just do prints. So let's change that now. And then we add a space plus space, space. We can do queen of, and it'd be nice if we prompted the user and told the program exactly what we're doing, because that's good, better coding. But now you can randomly generate a bunch of different numbers. So now that we have our pick a card game finished, we're going to move on to question 26. We've already used the and or operators, but I'm going to show you guys how to write a program that is specific to see if an integer is divisible by 5 and 6, whether it's divisible by 5 or 6, and whether it is divisible by 5 or 6, but not both, which is a new operator over there. So enter an integer is going to be the input. Then FOT10 is divisible by 5 and 6. Okay. So we're going to be using the modulo quite a bit in this problem. Here we go. So let's start a new class. Chapter 03-26. Okay, import util.scanner. Scanner input equals new scanner system.in. So number input dot next. Yes, I have a class going on right now. They're working on their maze games and their custom game that they're creating. So input dot next int. So system dot out dot print. Let's prompt the user. So we need to prompt the user before we create this. So move that up there. Enter a number, and I will tell you whether it is divisible by 5, 6, or both. Okay. So, if number modulo %5 equals 0, and number Modulo 6 equals 0. So this is the AND operator. System.out.print. It is divisible by both. Okay, so let's test that real quick. Run. Enter number. What number? 30. Divisible by both. Is divisible by both. Excellent. Okay. Else if number 0. Print line.
No, it's like a box, right? Small ring of space appears all over the screen.
Or, so this is going to be the OR operator, numbers divisible by 5 or 6. So remember, this is the remainder. So the fact that we divide by 5 and ask for the remainder. Divide by 6 and ask for the remainder. Okay, print line, it's divisible by 5 or 6. Okay, so this should print is visible by both. So I would actually want these both to print if it was 30. So I have it incorrect in the wrong order. So I need to change this and have this OR first. So that should be the first thing I print. Then if it's divisible by, and I'm actually going to put that last. Well, no, I can do it that order. So now we run it again and see what happens when you switch the order. 30 is divisible by 5 or 6. Let's try this again. So 30 is divisible by 5 or 6. So if I don't do an else, it'll read this equation whether this is true or not. So we want to make sure that since we don't have the else, it's going to read both, which is what we want. We want to be able to print both. Divisible by 5 or 6. It is divisible by both also. Okay, and then if we did 20, that would only be divisible by 5. So it would only be divisible by 5 or 6. That would be the only one that's true. Okay, but not both. If number 5 equals 0, and then this caret will be one or the other, but not both. So in order to do that, you do shift 6, number Modulus 6 equals 0. System.out.print line. It is divisible by 5 or 6, but not both. So actually, this one has the most. Let's see if we can get 30 by 5 or 6. Okay.
No.
But not both. Okay, so this this should print every time, this first line, because it's either divisible by 5 or 6, or I guess neither is possible. So if you did 11, nothing would print. Yeah, so otherwise you'd print it would print nothing. So 15, 5 or 6, but not both. 300 should be both. Divisible by both. 5 or 6, and it's divisible by both. So in the book, it actually prints out a true or false. And so we could have made it more of a Boolean and said whether that's true or false. But this is similar. You're able to see the same thing. So if one of these, if this or this is true, obviously this is also going to print here. So hopefully you enjoyed it. See you next time, and thanks for watching.